All throughout the history of humanity, trees have been stabilizing the degrees Kelvin of our atmosphere. With their deep roots, their canopies, their naturally formed strategies, those magnolia leaves, they are producing the very thing that keeps us alive. We manufacture in heaps through factories, we leap forwards to our curiosity, we keep moving, whether it's towards monstrosity, when in reality, we need a pause. Pause to allow us to realize we need to stop these lies, this fake surprise. We need to rebuild these ties with our beautiful skies and emphasize that our allies include nature. Otherwise, the future sunrises won't bring those second chances. They won't bring the stance of a 380-foot redwood tree or the colored lines on a lush hillside, butterflies, and certainly not disguises for our compromises. But we can prioritize. While we walk down the aisles of supermarkets that last for miles that are wrapped with bile, we could change a frown in our lifestyle. We could reduce all those trash piles, if not to make us smile, then to save a quarter mile for forest. Nothing is more worthwhile. We could choose to dwell on what has been done, or we could change our practices. We could stop overusing fertilizers, stop losing our precious resources to feeders. We can start choosing to take action. Our loved ones, our grandsons, everyone can change the range of good change. We can feel empowered to be a part of this opportunity, which will make sure every person in our home is aware that there is nothing more pure and worth fighting for than nature.
It's just one piece of trash, right?
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm 11 and I live in New Jersey. When I think of environmental justice, I think of all humans, regardless of race, class, gender, having access to the beauties of nature. I also think of justice for animals, the freedom to roam peacefully. So I've been interviewing greenmakers, people who protect and preserve the environment in the hope that others will take a stand.
If there was some pollutant in the water or on land, it would unfortunately get into their body. And if we start seeing frog populations drop in our area, it might let us know that there's something wrong.
All living things deserve their place in this world. They are all part of it. And so I think that we should protect birds out of respect.
What's your biggest challenge after poaching to protect wildlife?
We have right on the boundary of these game reserves lies the largest density of rural South Africans, which means there's a high population of people and very low job opportunities. And that mixture, that combination is a huge threat.
Can you be a green maker too?
Our rich coastline is abundant with sea stars, sea urchins, and kelp. Correction, was.
Since 2014, 90% of the kelp along the California coast has vanished.
Rising ocean temperatures made sea stars more vulnerable to diseases, leading many to die from the sea star wasting syndrome.
When their main predator disappeared, sea urchins overpopulated and ate up most of the kelp. Kelp matters not just because it's food and shelter for lots of small marine life, but it also helps stop climate change by absorbing carbon dioxide and creating oxygen. How to help? You can donate to organizations that work to save the kelp forest, such as seatrees.org. You can also help by reducing your carbon footprint, by saving energy, walking and biking, and recycling. If we can bring down both the ratio of the sea urchins to kelp and the temperature of the ocean, then kelp will be able to grow 2 feet a day.
Anyone can make a difference.
Your help will bring us one step closer to restoring our kelp forest, saving our ocean ecosystem, stopping climate change, and overall achieving environmental justice.
As long as I have lived in Morristown, I've had my little garden. It's not big, but it's perfect to me. It's also how I learn in my environment, right here in my backyard. Every spring, we plant our garden and sow our seeds in the moist soil and watch as they unfurl their little leaves and meet the warm sun welcoming them into the world. Composting started as we created our garden. We brought kitchen scraps and composted them. We started making our own soil. When we went clamming and caught clams, we didn't just eat the meat and throw away the shells. We brought them to the garden and crushed them to make bone meal. We never used pesticides because they can wash into streams and rivers and harm the fish that call them home. We try to work with nature instead of against it. The garden is also a learning tool besides ecology. I have learned about biology, botany, and meteorology. I have also learned how hard it is to grow our food and the importance of not wasting. There is nothing more satisfying than eating what we grow. Most summers, we are able to eat what we grow and avoid buying veggies in the market. When humans first inhabited the earth, we depended on Mother Nature to provide for us. Along the way, we started taking more and more. Instead of living off the land, we destroyed it for our own purposes. Gardening has allowed me to understand the importance of coexisting with nature. It is my little way of learning about the environment and making a difference.
Hello, we are the EBE. We are here to show you how some human activities are ruining nature here in Hawaii. If we don't do something now, our plants and animals will go extinct. That would be horrible. I personally love birds. If they die off, this would be a very sad place to live in. So now we will go into Bodhi with in-depth discussion.
I also love animals, especially dogs. By building houses and hotels using up resources and spreading invasions, we hurt the animals we hug each day. If we keep destroying habitats, we won't be able to eat or enjoy life on the island. People who used to live off the island get especially hurt when there's nothing left, and children may not grow up with native animals to play with or look at.
Now we go into EJ with the conclusion.
People are doing is setting up groups like the Plant Extinction Prevention Program. Joanne Yoshioka, the founder of PEPP, that has saved over 238 endangered species of Hawaiian plants and animals. You can do your part by respecting nature, building less, reading the signs, and not trampling anything that lives here and makes the place special.
Rise and shine. You can make a difference today.
I'm Grace, a 7th grader from Ohio. Just like you, from the moment I wake up, water plays an essential role in my day in keeping me clean and healthy. My small town has many trails to explore. On my walks, I love visiting the beautiful streams and ponds. However, as I got older, my exploring took me to different parts of my town. Places where the water didn't appear as clean and beautiful. I started to wonder, where does my water come from? Where does my water go? And what can I do to make sure my town's water is clean and safe for all? I learned about cyanobacteria, a harmful algal bloom. According to the CDC, cyanotoxins are among the most powerful natural poisons known. They can make people, their pets, and other animals sick. Ohio has a lot of farmlands, and farming uses a lot of fertilizer. As the water flows over the farm fields, it carries the fertilizer and other contaminants with it, and that goes into lakes, streams, and other fresh bodies of water, which creates cyanobacteria. I took action by helping to plant trees in a local farm field. Planting trees can protect watersheds from topsoil erosion and fertilizer, as well as helping to buffer runoff. What can you do to improve your community's water quality?
Good night. Did you make a difference today?
We are the Earth Guardians Bay Area crew and Youth vs. Apocalypse. We're a group of young activists helping to save our future from the climate emergency.
Mother Nature, indigenous leaders, frontline communities, and climate scientists have been screaming out that we need to leave oil in the ground.
Adults in powerful positions have not been listening. Instead, they are investing a ton of money in the fossil fuel industry.
We've learned about a super important action that can stop this. It's called divestment. So what is divestment? It's when a person or organization takes money out of certain types of banks, companies, and funds. Divestment can take power away from the industries that are causing really big harm.
We found out that most of our teachers have no idea that more than $6 billion of their retirement money is being invested in fossil fuel companies right now.
The organization that decides where to invest our teachers' money is called CalSTRS. Once we found out, we decided to miss school so we could go to every one of their board meetings until they divest.
We did a die-in just outside their headquarters. We danced in the middle of their meeting. We got media attention by covering ourselves in fake oil. But still, they say no to divesting.
This wasn't what we wanted to do with our childhood, but the grown-ups have given us no choice. Together we can do this. Will you join us?
Why youth activists? Why not wait until we're older? 10, 20, or 30 years from now, when we're more educated, more measured, more realistic. Thus the sheer beauty of a child, the raw honesty, the creativity, each theoretical idea whizzing around their mind, essentially a limitless imagination. It has been drilled into us from a young age to step aside and let the grown-ups figure it out, to sit silently and wait patiently. But why wait? It's our future. 50 years from now, we'll be left with the same interconnected issues. Environmental neglect, basic human rights, a divided nation. Knowing that we could have taken action when we didn't, now that would be the real shame. To the passionate youth, flourish and reach for your full potential. Openly share your unique perspectives and opinions, for they are what could truly change the course of humanity forever.
Is this thing on? Oh, there we go. Okay, right now I am in my backyard, which is basically the woods. I'm gonna be looking for stuff. Alright, so I just found this beer. Another glass one. I found one little plastic one. Two. Third one. Three. Another one. Four. Another one. Another one. My collection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You should know what you're doing to the earth. I mean, this probably won't even be out to everyone in the world, but I hope others will understand to just not do this. Thank you for watching. See you.
Maybe environmental justice is a ripple. Turn on your car and line the pockets of oil companies, raise the temperature of the earth, and cause a rise in the sea level that displaces entire communities. Click that buy button to purchase a product made by sweatshop workers, shipped on a plane that adds to our carbon footprint, stuffed in a box made from trees that could have been cleaning our air, and filled with bubble wrap that will last longer on this planet than you or I will. Bite into that burger and don't think about the mistreatment of the animals, or the dangers posed to the workers, or the 3.1 gigatons of greenhouse gases produced each year by the meat industry. Everything we do causes a ripple so far-reaching, it can make you feel like it's all just hopeless anyway. But back up a sec. Maybe that ripple isn't about guilt. Maybe it's about power. Because if everything we do impacts our world, then the power isn't with someone else, it's with us. And when we make responsible choices and raise up our voices whenever someone does something that we'd never allow to happen in our backyard, because all people are our neighbors and all the world is our backyard, that is when we will see and hear and feel the ripple that is environmental justice.
Mm-hmm.